Well, I just washed my muddy face off, and I am heading back to Macedonia. A long 5-minute drive down the road. I can honestly say I wasn't disappointed with even one horse tonight. Everybody did their best. You know, you can tell when a horse like Yes isn't on his game and missed some time and is coming back. He was still just a shell of himself tonight, but you can feel him working back into shape. You know, that was the type of mile he went when he went in 53. That's how he felt, but he just felt that little bit extra powerful then than he does now. It's just going to take some time, that's all. And hopefully we can continue to get some good draws. We can continue to get some little bit of racing luck. I doubt we'll continue to find softer bunches, but at the same time, I think that's a good starting point for him to hopefully get back into shape and round back into the Yes that we remember. I can tell you that mechanically and soundness-wise, that's as good as I've ever seen him. Jason told me that a few weeks ago, and he was right. He is as good or better than we've ever seen Yes. So I'd like to see that continue to move forward on the track. The horse that impressed me the most today by far was Matt's MVP. I had this horse's blood work. I saw it. And I didn't mean to move at the quarter pole. I was giving him a little bit room, and it was muddy out. And the gentleman behind me, Nick, started up the inside of me. Now, had I thought it was a malicious move, there would have been a defensive move done to that. But I think it was just a mud. You know, I was just giving him a little room so he could coast down. And Nick thought I was moving and shot up through there. So I was out a lot earlier than I thought I would, than I should have been. But Matt was comfortable. He's very poised. He's just, sounder, not 100%, but better. I saw him a little floppy behind tonight. I know exactly what Mike's going to do. He's going to want to iodine his stifles. We'll probably treat him again, as we did last year for EPM, and do a little work on him. He came in here tonight in 24 hours notice, off a so-so training mile on Saturday. What I would say, a very lackluster training mile on Saturday. Came in tonight, did his work as good as he could, very professional about it. I was really impressed. This horse has impressed me all year, and just goes to show you, and we talk about this, but it's worth bringing up every so often, a horse that was so bad at 2, almost desertable, to be honest. Almost a horse where you just say, get rid of him. But there was something there. We all saw little bits and pieces of it. There was something there. And he's grasped onto that and really grown from that. I know that how bad this horse was tonight blood-wise. I saw his blood work. It wasn't, it was almost getting close enough. It was a little bit worse. He wouldn't have raced tonight. His liver count was high. That's not something that you can just push through and bully through. You can't do it. You can't power through a high liver. I've seen too many horses try, and they've all failed for the most part. His liver count was as high as you would want it, where you'd say, yeah, I suppose he could race. If it was a couple of points higher, I probably just could have scratched him. His differential was flipped. This is what kept No Free Lunch from racing for 5 weeks. That differential just would not flip back in his blood. So there's no way that Matt's MVP, both training-wise, sharp-wise, healthy-wise, he was on the border of being scratched tonight on a number of fronts. But I said, you know what, if we pick up some points, money, whatever tonight, grab a couple of points of money next week in the same division, who knows, we might be able to have him at 100% for that final. I didn't want to be here. The non-winners of 2 is not filling in Ontario. So, have to do what we have to do. I brought him over here. This horse is not built for, nor will like a half-mile track for any extended period of time. Quite frankly, of the one class in Ontario, I was shocked was not filling, was the non-winners of 2. Sometimes you don't see the maidens fill. Non-winners of 4, middle conditions, never the non-winners of 2. So I am a little bit surprised. But you know what? He's here now. This series is here, but he's not going to be staying here. When this series is over, he's going back to Ontario. This horse will excel on a bigger track, and that's where he needs to be. But you know what? He's a tough bugger. He showed it again tonight. For him to lunge, finish up strong, knowing what I know about the entire situation surrounding Matt's MVP. Horses are exciting and very durable, tough animals to begin with. And it's not like that wasn't the Canadian Trotting Classic. That wasn't the, it wasn't the Hamiltonian. It wasn't the Open. It was a non-winners, a 1-2, whatever, overnight. But to have the mental fortitude and the strength to go out and do what he did, one, shows how much he wants to be a racehorse, and two, shows how tough he can be. He wants to be. I guess they're kind of the same thing. Matt's MVP impressed me tonight. Very, very happy with the way he raced. We'll have the vet look at him tomorrow. There's no point drawing blood. I know where the starting point is. We know we can treat what is going on from his blood yesterday morning. We can start treating that tomorrow. Very impressed with Matt's MVP tonight. Compass Rose DC race good. Both those fillies, you can't miss 4 or 5 months and just get back in the swing of things. It takes time. A big mile from Compass Rose DC tonight. Very happy with the way she raced. That filly that beat her has been a good filly, good mare her entire life. She's got 26 starts this year, and Rosie's got a handful. So a good race for her. She did everything well, and My Jazz continues to. She's just such a nice horse to drive. I know I had to work on her a little bit. She can be a little lazy sometimes, especially when she's in a position where, again, she's been off 5 months. Like, that's one of the fastest miles of her life. Tonight, 56 and a piece in the mud. You're asking her to come back and be better than she ever was right away. It's just a lot to ask. So we'll continue to race her in there. I don't think there's a better class just yet for her. I'll look around the meadows, and I know there's nothing at Mohawk. And somebody said, well, you race her in the Preferreds in London. Yeah, we could. There's a lot of places we could put her, but I don't think any of them are much different than what she was in tonight. So I think that's what we're going to do for her right now. Both those fillies fit those mares fit those classes. They'll race there for now, and we'll see how they do. Matt's MVP will continue in that class, and yes, we'll have to go up, but you know what? That's fine. I was happy with everybody tonight. Not even, I can't say, I wish this had happened, I wish that had happened. I think everybody did about as much as they could do tonight. So a good night across the board, a good day. Today wasn't a bad day. Decent news from the vet. Really good on some fronts, decent in others. Happy with the way the horses raced. Now, tomorrow the main track's closed, so a little bit of tinkering going on. Jog some horses on the back track. We weren't going to bring the babies on the back track. I wasn't, but there are a few I want to get a look at tomorrow. So I'm going to go with a couple of them. Maybe 4 or 5 babies will jog tomorrow. We'll go with all the other ones on Thursday morning before I go to the meadows. I just looked at the entries and realized that I have 7 drives. 7 drives on Thursday. So we have our horses in, and I guess I got three other spins for the afternoon, which is fine. I'll still be home. It won't really slow me down very much. I'll be home at I'll be home at 11 o'clock on Thursday night. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the States, back Thursday night to Ontario. Friday we get some horses to school. Lots of racing going on. Everything. This is a tiny little lull, right? The sales are over. We're getting the babies broke. We're all anticipating when the first drone or video work is going to be done. What horses we have racing. We're going to have some horses we're going to move. We're going to bring some other horses in. Tiny little lull. It's quiet today. Take care.